All right, family. I don't know what happened, but I know Terrence wanted to come on here, and I tried to accept it, but I don't know what went on with that. Okay, it was saying technical difficulties, and then you guys were saying you couldn't hear me. So what I was saying was, last night, okay, I was on TikTok, right? And TikTok is one of the apps that I make sure I get off my phone. Like after I upload the information or the videos that I need to upload, okay? Because it's so many distractions. And it's not just TikTok, it's just in general, okay? Is a lot of things that is trying to grab your attention. And so last night when I was on TikTok, it was a brother that who was telling his story, who was sharing his story, and he sell herbs and stuff as well. And when I tell you that this brother was in top tier shape, I'm talking about the brother was cut up. Okay, I'm talking about you can see like the abs. You can see like his arms being like, you know, just was I was just really blown away. And the reason being is, and this is one of the things that this brother has said. So this brother, okay, I said in a previous video, he could not get an erection, okay, because the blood circulating throughout his body, it wasn't circulating, okay. Also, when he was using the bathroom, it was stool, it was blood in his stool, okay. That was another thing. And also he said when he woke up in the morning, his whole left arm, it would be numb. Okay. And this was every morning when he woke up. Okay. His left arm would be numb. He can't feel no blood. He said the girl who he was with, basically, she broke up with him, gave him an ultimatum, like, you know what, you can't get an erection, okay, and you need to be making more money than, because I think she was making quite a bit, okay. And so she basically gave him this ultimatum, like you need to do a fruit fast, a fruit and veggie fast, and he needed to make more money. So what he did was I don't know if you guys heard what I said in a previous video. What the brother did was he was a security guard at Prada, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he said that they fired him, okay, at Prada, all right? And he said he didn't really have money. So what he did was he did the fruit and this is the part that really brought the home run in, okay? So the brother, he was he used to work out, and this is what he talked about far as the ego, okay? Now, he used to work out before, but nowadays he said he work out, I think, 2 times out of the week. He do calisthenics, and he go to the gym, okay, 2 times out of the week. If you see the brother, you think he work out way more than that, okay? And that goes to show. First of all, how many of you guys knew that working out and in the gyms and stuff is I would say is being pushed, right? So they show the advertisements on television. You see the ads for the foods and stuff like that, and then you eat it, and then you try to outwork the foods, right? And I remember I was watching this documentary. I think it was Forks Over Knives or probably Cowspiracy. I think Cowspiracy. And I remember the guy who was conducting the documentary, one of the things he did was he had interviewed what is the guy from Jack, I think it's Jackass. I can't think of the guy's name, but anywho, the guy from Jackass came on to, to be a guest on a documentary. And one of the things he said was, the guy from Jackass, one of the things he said was, when he went to these organizations, right, I believe it was something about cancer and all this other stuff. And he went to these organizations, and what he seen was like these businesses, right? They had like large Stevie. Is it Stevie OJ? I think his name's Stevie something. But he said he went to these, he got invited, and when he went there, he seen like they had like all this meat and stuff like that, and he was just like confused because he was like, isn't this the Cancer Association and all this other stuff, like, and I believe he said he left. Okay. But getting back to this brother, so if you kind of see like things, they are intertwined with one another, so to speak. Okay. The food and then these societies are intertwined with one another. But getting back on topic, so the brother said he had did a dry fast, okay? Just not eating anything. But then later on, he did a fruit and veggie raw, okay? And he said 80% is from his fruits, okay? And the rest is from veggies and nuts. And one of the things he said about the ego, he was like, when he was, I guess I don't know if he was cut up even more than what I seen last night, but he said like he used to work out before, right? And he used to work out a whole lot. And what he said was, when he was working out, and although he couldn't get an erection, okay, and the toxins was in his body, the ego still was trying to convince him like, but you look good, right? Like the blood wasn't circulating, but he was saying that the ego still was trying to tell him, but he looked good. Like, in other words, don't lose the waist. And I think a lot of times when we go on these journeys, a lot of times we have been so programmed to believe that if you are, big or whatever, that necessarily means that you healthy. Okay. And if you small, then that means you sick, right? But what we don't realize is that the toxins are being, when you go on a fruit fast or whatever it is like that, you're going to lose the weight. And it's not weight, it's waste. Okay, you're going to lose the waste. And the reason being is because, one, you are putting the minerals back into your body. That's one. And then two, not only are you putting the minerals back in your body, but the fruits, they don't have that many calories, okay, as if you was eating the fast foods, okay? It doesn't have that many calories. And so when you eating this stuff, when you eating the fruits and stuff like that, like, and it's so crazy because we look at hypertension and we think that's just normal, right? Like I could remember, and even having my gallbladder removed. Last night when I was listening to this brother, I was like so upset, about the decisions that I have made because, every part of our bodies, like every organ and everything that's in our body is there for a reason, is there for a purpose. Okay. And when we start removing things, okay, it's like, playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. All right. And so, I was upset. Last night I was upset. Okay. I was upset for a few reasons. I was upset for being misinformed. That was one. I was also upset for agreeing to have my gallbladder removed. So the gallbladder, it breaks down fat, okay, in your body. That's what its function is made to do, is to break down fats, okay? And when you have stones in your body, okay, like kidney stones and stuff like that, it is because the calcium and everything is being pulled, because there's no calcium. So what is doing is being pulled from your teeth and your bones. And that's what's making the stones, okay? And so I was, thinking about the gallbladder situation. Then I was also thinking about when I got vaccinated, okay, when I was a kid. Now, of course, I didn't have no say in it, right? But I do get some people say herpes, right? I do get fever blisters. And it's so crazy how we think that at times, because even myself, I thought, the vaccinations and, things of that nature was really good, and I would even look down on people that didn't get their children vaccinated. I would, be like, damn, that they not a good parent. They didn't get their children all those vaccines and everything like that. And so, certain things that's in the needles, they also have the stuff in it. So if it's like a flu thing, right, it's gonna be the flu that's in the actual thing, okay. And so I was thinking about all these different things, and one of the things that I had to do, I had to accept the fact that if I knew better, I would have done better. Okay, if I knew better, I would have done better. And how could I write this, right? Because I think a lot of times we tend to say, well, is this person fork? Is that person fork? Is that person fork? And I tell you guys all the time, taking accountability is one of the most fascinating things that you can do, because what that allow is for you to know that you can change your life at any given time. Yes, you may have not known certain things, okay, but now you do know, okay? And so are you going to have the wisdom to apply the things that you do now, in fact, know, okay? And one of the things also this morning I was thinking about was hypertension, right? High blood pressure, and how we think that it's normal, or like it's not a big deal. Cause I sure remember when my youngest daughter, Amani, when I was about to give birth to her, and they had to induce my labor because my blood pressure was high. Okay. And I didn't look at it like, like today, like, oh, I looked at it like, well, that's normal. Everybody, have high blood pressure. But just because we have normalized it, it doesn't mean that it is okay, or it is right. And so my journey is I've been seeing so many numbers, synchronicities. Last night before I went to sleep, I had asked the universe, like, show me in my dreams, like, what I'm supposed to be eating. And I seen some plums in my dreams, and then I also seen the brother talking. Okay. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have some watermelon today, probably 2 melons. And this brother, I was so fascinated, okay? Because the people in the comments, they was asking him, what do he eat? Okay, because they was saying where he get his protein from. And there is another myth, okay? That if you do plant-based, you won't get no protein. That is not true. The plantain, honey, the protein is in the fruits. The protein is in the veggies. That's where the protein is. Do you know in watermelon it is 11 grams of protein? Okay, and melons, 11 grams, and that's the standard. I think 4 to 5 pounds or 3 to 4 pounds watermelon. Okay, so it's protein in the watermelon. All right, and it just also what I believe is trial and error. Okay, for me, right? Like you see what you do what works for you. All right, and and I said about the shortness of breath, because I told you guys, by being, I was doing the raw, but I was getting that prior, because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, well, she said. I was getting that prior, okay, and the dizziness, I was getting that prior to that, all right, and so the whole thing is, when you see certain things isn't working, for you to do something different. Okay? For you to do something different. Because if it's not working, that means that you are violating these here laws in this universe. Okay? And so I was just fascinated by that. And I remember listening to Napoleon Hill, okay, the author of Think Rich. Is it Think Rich? You guys know Napoleon Hill, okay? And I remember he was given like these keys for success and the laws of the universe, and is on YouTube. I don't remember the exact video, but I know in that video he was even talking about fasting, even back then, way back then, okay, way back then with Henry Ford and all of them, okay, talking about fasting, all right, okay, and so it makes you start thinking, and really start questioning your reality, because, like I said, I used to think that going to the doctor and getting the needles in your arm and stuff like that, or wherever they put them, I used to think that was right. Okay, and I used to think that if you wasn't giving your children it, okay, then you wasn't a good parent. And it's so funny because nowadays, like, my whole perhaps perception has shifted drastically. Okay, I think when you tend to grow through or go through something, it is not for you to, feel discouraged. And I know maybe, you experience that or whatever it is. But through that thing, whatever it is that you're going through that adversity, okay, there is something magical that's happening. All right? Something magical that's happening. Because when I was going to the psychologist, okay, and trying to get answers, like, what was going on with me, and they couldn't figure it out. Like, they took blood work, and they told me, and this was when I was working at a hardware store, okay, and they didn't understand. The doctor, he took blood work. He said the blood work, everything came back clear, everything came back good. And I remember he gave me a prescription, and I got the prescription filled, and I was taking it, and I don't know, I think the dosage he had me on was way too high, okay, because I definitely was not myself. And at that time, my mother was staying with me, and she was saying, like, Dina, you really not yourself, and then I went to another psych, and that psychologist, she prescribed the pills and things of that nature, and I was taking those pills, and then I told you guys, I had a coworker of mine who was like, she said, you aggressive, and I knew, I wasn't aggressive, okay, so whether she was planned or not, up until this day, I say the same thing, the same exact statement. I don't know if she was playing or not when she made that statement. Okay, because I was playing. I don't know if she was playing, but it really caused me to start looking at the medicine, okay, that I was taking. And from that point on, it just made me feel that I needed to do something different. Like, I needed like natural remedies, right? And then I went online and I see Dr. Sadie, okay, and from there I started getting into herbs, and I went to the herbal store that's in Jersey City, okay, on Grand Street, and I went there and I got some True Calm, okay. This was veggie capsules and True Calm. I don't even know what's all in True Calm, okay? But it did make me calm. And I never wanted to feel like I had to depend on something outside myself, okay? And from there, I was like fascinated with finding out about herbs, finding out about the body. And I said this before, it's something that always pulls me back in this direction. So, and I could binge watch, documentaries on herbs, or like, Cowspiracy and, Game Changers and stuff like that. I could watch that stuff like hours and hours, because it's an interest of mine. And so, when you start questioning your reality, right, and start knowing and understanding that, like, I know we supposed to do this, but at times it don't feel right, right? When you hear truth, it's something about truth. It resonates with you, okay? Like, you don't, like, you ever heard somebody and you just was like, I know this person lying, right? Or have you ever heard somebody and you be like, damn, I don't know, but it's something about that, like what they saying, like it gravitates toward, like you gravitate towards it, right? And so last night when I was watching that brother, and then there's another brother named Try by Nori, okay, a YouTuber, okay, and I just was fascinated because a few years ago, I wasn't seeing like the way I see the brothers now, like in top tier shape. Okay. Top tier shape. That is on fruits and veggies and nuts. Okay? In top tier shape. And then you have the people in the comments asking these brothers, what you taking for protein? Like, how you build that muscle? Like, and it's so astonishing because at times, you it may throw you off because you probably, if you tried going raw or whatever, you may be like, well, I don't know nobody. I never seen nobody that was, that was fit, or nobody that was like, they had the muscle mass and everything. Like, you can see they abs, you can see they muscles. They don't look sick, right? And so you may have, like, even on YouTube, okay, I came across this video. I'm not even gonna speak on that video, okay, but it's so fascinating because when you see this, you start asking yourself, what's your excuse? Or you start telling yourself, like, damn, the information that I had received was yellows. It was just completely, totally wrong. Okay. And so some of the ways, right, especially if you are doing raw, okay, some of the things to build to have the healthy fats, right? So you don't get skinny, okay? Kiwi, avocados, and you could do nuts, okay? So you can keep your weight, okay? But it's not, and again, it's not, see, we've been so programmed because we say, oh, is weight, I'm losing so much. It's not weight that you are losing, it's waste, it's toxins that you are losing, okay? And this is another thing. So our cells, okay, once they become oxidative, okay, it breaks down our cells. It damages them. It destroys them once they become oxidative. That's why when you see, like, somebody will tell you they age and you like, damn, right? You like, damn, this person looks so much older, right? Is due to the way they eat, and especially like sugars, carbohydrates, okay, high fructose corn syrup, the red 4, the blue whatever, okay, all those things, okay, the citric acid, which is made from mold, okay, and mainly everything that you find in the packaging, it has citric acid in there, black mold, okay. So all those different things, okay. When it was funny, but really not funny last night. So as I'm watching this brother's, TikTok, and this lady, she says to him, she says, she's small already, she don't want to lose no more weight. And so the brother says to her, he says, so you mean to tell me you don't want your skin to be tighter, right? Like, you mean to tell me that you don't want to, like, basically heal yourself? You mean to tell me you don't want to lose that waist, right? And when you hear it like that, it makes you feel like, damn, yeah, I want that, right? Of course. Like within these few, like, all right, so I did the 7 days, but before the 7 days, the fruit and the veggies, I fasted for 2 days. Okay, so the first day I fasted, I just, because I was on my moon cycle, so I just was drinking herbal tea. Okay, the red raspberry, the fennel seed, the damiana and catnip, the valerian root, the lavender. Okay, I was drinking that while I was on my moon cycle. Now that was for the first day. The second day, oh, and I had some hazelnuts, okay? And then the second day I had the same thing. I just was drinking tea. Okay, I didn't eat anything, not even nuts. That second day. And then from there I went on the fruit and veggie fast, okay? And so, with that being said, you know, the answers is within. Okay, the answers is within, and really start questioning your reality, right? Because you know, if your life is going a certain type of way, it's for you to really start questioning your reality. And I think a lot of times you know, we look at all these addictions and don't put food in the category as an addiction as well. Okay. Because food can be an addiction. All right. If you allow it to. Um, just question your reality. And so with that being said, I love you guys, and I catch you guys on the next video. I don't know, I may go to Whole Foods in Newark. I did have a workout class today, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go to my workout class. Next week is a trampoline class. And I said I'm gonna just go to that next week. So I may go to Whole Foods. You know, my spirit is telling me to go to Whole Foods in Newark. Okay, so I may go to Whole Foods in Newark today. Depends. So yeah, so with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.